A few months ago, a new couple moved into the rental house next door. At first, my husband and I were hopeful. New neighbors meant new friends, right? But we couldn't have been more wrong. From the very beginning, it was clear that this couple had no regard for anyone but themselves. They ignored garbage collection schedules, left trash all over the place, and tossed cigarette butts into our yard. The worst part? Their rental didn't even come with a parking space, but that didn't stop them from taking up whatever spot they pleased, including ours. It got worse. They'd park their car right in front of our driveway, making it impossible for us to get in or out. Some nights, they left the engine running for hours, filling our house with fumes while they partied loudly outside. One evening, I had enough. Their car was blocking our driveway, again. I rang their doorbell and, after a long wait, the wife stormed outside. Without a word, she got into the car, glared at me, and moved it just a few inches before slamming the door and walking away. "Could you please park somewhere else?" I asked, trying to keep my frustration in check. "We can't get our car out." She scoffed. "Do you have the right to tell me what to do? Even the cops wouldn't care." Then she turned and slammed the door behind her. That night, I told my husband about the incident over dinner. He brushed it off, saying we should just ignore them. But I couldn't shake the sinking feeling that this was just the beginning of our troubles. The incident that changed everything. A week later, our 2-year-old daughter suddenly started vomiting violently during dinner. Panicked, we decided to rush her to the hospital. My husband grabbed the car keys while I held our daughter in my arms. But as we got to the driveway, we saw it, the neighbor's car blocking our way. Again. I ran to their house and pounded on the door. No response. My husband rang the doorbell over and over, shouting, "We need to leave. Our daughter is sick." Finally, the husband came to the door, rubbing his eyes as if we had just rudely woken him up. "Move your car. Our daughter needs medical attention," my husband yelled. The man smirked. "Not my problem. I'm busy." And then he shut the door in my husband's face. Furious and out of options, we called my mother-in-law, who lived 5 minutes away. She rushed over, picked us up, and we sped to the hospital. Thankfully, our daughter was fine after receiving some medicine. But my husband was seething. I had never seen him this angry before. "We can't let this go," he muttered. "Not anymore. Payback time." A few days later, my husband left the house saying he had something to take care of. I didn't ask. But an hour later, a loud commotion outside made me rush to the window. I saw the neighbors screaming at my husband, their faces red with rage. I ran outside. "What's going on?" I asked, heart pounding. My husband grinned. "Oh, just helping them park better." Turns out, my husband had relocated their car to the entrance of the nearest police station. Parking there was strictly prohibited, and with a patrol car parked nearby, it was only a matter of time before the cops took notice. Realizing the trouble they were in, the couple panicked and ran to retrieve their vehicle. But just as they were about to drive away, my father-in-law arrived with a large sign that read, "No unauthorized parking. Violators will be towed." My husband smirked. "Oh, and I already called the police. You might want to move fast." The couple cursed and sputtered, but they had no choice. They jumped into their car and sped away, nearly clipping the curb in their haste. The final blow. Later that night, I heard rustling outside. Peeking through the curtains, I saw the neighbors hastily loading their belongings into a truck. "Are they moving?" I whispered. My husband chuckled. "Looks like it." What I didn't know was that my father-in-law owned the rental house they lived in. After hearing what had happened, he decided to evict them immediately. "People like that don't belong in this neighborhood," he had said. By morning, they were gone. No goodbyes. No final acts of defiance. Just an empty house and the quiet relief that came with knowing they wouldn't be coming back. Aftermath. With the problem neighbors gone, life returned to normal. My father-in-law renovated the house, adding a proper driveway and renting it to a quiet family. As for us, we enjoyed our peaceful neighborhood once more, without cigarette butts, loud engines, or blocked driveways. Moral of the story? Some people will push you to your limits. But sometimes, karma just needs a little nudge. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.